Welcome to Geektionary. My name's Corey Hales, and this is the geekiest podcast you'll probably ever hear, where I will try to teach you, along with my friends, about the nerdier things in life. Let's talk about it. Damn it! Off to a great start. Alright. So, this is episode P of Geektionary. I'm here with Tony. Can I use your last name?
Yep.
Tony Fiorini.
Why don't you say it properly now?
Fiorini. Fiorini. He's Italian. We're going to be talking about Portal. Mm-hmm. Which, if you're listening to this, you should hopefully know what that is.
Hopefully.
The lady that I'm seeing right now just got Portal 2, yes. But she won't play it.
Why not?
Because no one's around to watch. And to me, that's... I know! I don't...
I think, you know what? It's something you gotta do... I think it's something you gotta do by yourself. And then you discuss it with other people. Because when I first played the first Portal...
Yeah.
Because you introduced me to it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I had so many questions.
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, speaking of... Like, that was around 2007. Because that was when it first came out. It was part of the bundle package, the orange box, which had...
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Half-Life 2... Episode 1, Episode 2, Team Fortress 2, and Portal, of course, which was, and it cost the same as a single game.
Yeah, it was great.
And you got like 5 or 6.
It was awesome.
It was so good, yeah, and and I remember like, what's this Portal game? So everybody, this is fantastic!
No, you know what, I remember, because I wasn't that into games until I met you, and then you told me about Portal and Half-Life, and I was just... You know, I wanted to try it, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, I'm so glad you introduced me to it.
Yeah, it's, like, you have to think with portals, as the saying goes, and it's...
Well, when you first tried to explain it to me, I'm like, there's no way I can play this.
Explaining it makes it sound fucking impossible.
It does!
Yeah, it's a first-person puzzle physics game. Yeah. As I said, released first in 2007, then later on in 2008 as a standalone game. Mm-hmm. And, you have the single most unique part of it would be the portal gun, I'd say.
Yes,
it's an entirely awesome and a unique game, but the portal gun, if you're in, okay, let's say you're in a square room, north, south, east, west. You're looking north. You shoot the first portal on the north wall, then shoot one at the east wall. Mm-hmm. You then enter the portal on the north wall and come out the east wall portal.
Right.
Which is...
No, that's the best way of
explaining it. I think that seems fairly...
That pretty much sums it up.
It still seems kind of confusing to me. But,
you get the... Actually, you know what? On my way to work today... Mm-hmm.
Were you thinking with portals?
I was like, what if I actually had a portal at work?
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't have to get up so damn early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just go to work. But then I thought if you actually left it there, that's the only place you could actually go to. Like, how would you get it back? Like, how would you take it back and then put it somewhere else?
That would be so... like, you're in your room, shoot a portal on the wall.
Yeah, like a portal cannon.
Drive to work, portal on the wall, drive back home. But the thing is, people could just enter your house. Like, it's...
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that.
It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. You'd be... Creepy janitors showing up in your house in the middle of the night.
I thought this was such a great plan.
No, it's terrible. It's a terrible idea. It's sort of like teleportation, but not as... I
know what you're trying to say.
It's not as fluid, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's very strict.
Right.
You have one portal,
point A,
which will take you from point A to point B and back again.
Right.
But yeah, in the game Portal, you play Chell, a lady.
Is it Shell or Chell?
Chell, with
Chell?
CH, yeah.
Okay.
Strange name either. Oh, God.
Oh. It's okay, keep going.
Tony's cat has awoken. Chell, you are challenged by an AI named Gladys to complete a series of puzzles in the Aperture Science Enrichment Center with the promise of cake as a reward. Cake and hopefully freedom.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's so well written at the beginning. It's even though it's a very silly but very dark game.
It is because it's got so many subtleties to it, where you actually have to pay attention rather than I mean, it's fun to go through all the puzzles and everything, but I usually, like, when I first played it, I went through it really quickly.
You just buzzed through the puzzles.
Yeah, I just went through the puzzles, and then I actually started paying attention to what they were actually saying.
Mm-hmm. And it's I can't think of any examples, but just constant threats of death in the most calm and almost friendly way possible in the first game. It was based on a student project. Did you know that? Called Narbacular Drop.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Was it really?
Yeah. And most of the people that created Narbacular Drop, and like I said, this was a student, they were hired straight out to then work on Portal.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I found out, I knew Narbacular wasn't a word, but they did that so that it would be easier to find on Google. Which is a fucking brilliant idea.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Did they also work on the second one, or was it just kind of...
I'm pretty sure a lot of the same people were carried over.
Okay.
I know that they had... I don't know. Anyway, like we mentioned, Chell is, according to Gladys, who has confessed herself as being a liar a number of times, Chell is adopted, an orphan, and has no friends. And
no, she's agreeing with you.
Yeah, Chell also doesn't speak. She's the classic silent protagonist, except, unlike most silent protagonists, is a woman.
Yes.
And is not overtly sexualized.
No, not at all.
Like, she's wearing an orange jumpsuit. And the second one, orange jumpsuit and tank top. And she just looks like a woman. Doesn't look like Lara Croft, you know what I mean?
Like a...
It's not...
Doesn't look like something from Minecraft?
Yeah. It doesn't look like a pair of tits running around with a gun between them. You know? And that's good. That's progress.
You know what? I'm so glad that there's a little more detail to them.
Yeah. Gladys is voiced by Ellen McLean, who is a voice actor. I think she's also mainly a writer, like a screenwriter, though.
I have no idea.
No, she's a singer, not a screenwriter. Very easily mixed up.
Yeah, of course.
And, Gladys stands for Genetic Life Form and Disk Operating System. In the first game, it's revealed that they were creating her as a side project along with the portal gun, but they were also were in great competition with Black Mesa from Half-Life.
Right. And
they were both competing for a pipeline de-icing contract.
Okay.
And so...
I don't remember any of this.
This is like, you have to search this stuff out in the first one. It's not mentioned. I
was like, was there a level I missed?
There's an entire level all about de-icing pipelines. With the Black Mesa's thing, and they won the contract, simply de-iced the pipe.
Okay.
Whereas Aperture Science, because they're fucking batshit, it de-iced the pipe, but it also involved Gladys, who was insane.
Right.
And when she's first activated in the Portal series, she floods the entire science center, whatever, with
facility
deadly neurotoxin on Bring Your Daughter to Work Day. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is all coming back to me now.
Yeah. It's been a while since you've played.
Yeah,
I haven't played it in a while.
You know what? After we're done this, I'm going downstairs and I'm going to play it.
One of my favorite things to do, like, if I have absolutely nothing to do and I really want to play a game, put in Portal 2 and just do the, after Gladys gets put into the potato.
Really?
Yeah, and just do, like, the old Aperture Science things with Cave Johnson.
Cave Johnson.
Cave Johnson, voiced by J.K. Simmons, who is a name you might not recognize, but if you heard his voice, you know exactly who the fuck that is.
Yep.
He was J. Jonah Jameson in the original Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man.
And
if you've seen the show Oz, he was Vern Schillinger, a horrible racist who raped a lot of people.
I did not know that.
Rape and murder. Oh, the thing is, and you know what the thing is? I heard Billy West talking about...
Mm-hmm.
Billy West is a voice actor. Billy West talking about him and his wife watching Oz, and Billy knows J.K. Simmons, and his wife's talking to him and saying, like, this, you have to see this show. This guy's the most evil. Like, he's a monster. You look in those eyes and you can tell that even in real life he's a terrible person. And Billy West is like, that's the yellow M&M. Like, which is awesome. Like, the yellow M&M is the horrible racist, apparently. He's also J. Jonah Jameson.
I didn't know he was the yellow M&M either.
Yeah. Would you consider the turrets to be characters in Portal? I'd say so.
I would think so, yeah.
They have personalities, which makes it so much sadder when you destroy them. Because they're very polite.
Well, another gem in Portal 2 is when you're going through the manufacturing facility and they're putting together the turrets. And they're going through all of them and making sure they all have the same personality. And then you run into those odd ones.
The faulty ones, yeah.
That just start making jokes.
Yes.
And then throw them into the fire.
Or there's also the one that looks like a normal turret.
Yeah.
But then it just says, I'm different.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And if you save it, you get an accomplishment. It's just, and it's like, thank you. It's they were also voiced by Ellen McLean.
Were they really?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, with these turrets, they're just like, I see you. And if you kill them, they're just like, I forgive you, and stuff like that.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Would you consider the weighted companion cube a character? Tony's cat does. Good God. Would you though?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they put... So many people love the weighted companion cube. It's like... anytime you think of Portal, you can buy like Portal merchandise. The companion cube is always there. It's not actually a character.
Because it is just a block.
Well, it's like saying is the Portal gun
a
character?
The difference is though is that with the weighted companion cube, it's very much personified. Like when in the level, the only level that it shows up, it's just another cube like the ones you've seen before, except instead of having the Aperture logo on the sides, there's a heart.
Right.
And throughout the thing, GLaDOS is constantly mentioning, like, if you think the weighted companion cube is speaking to you, it's not. And saying stuff along those lines, like, and then at the very end, you have to throw the cube into a furnace and kill it, and it calls it euthanizing it.
Right.
Which is...
But is that because Chell... Mm-hmm. Is that because Chell's been in captivity, or not captivity, but she's been alone for so long, she...
might project onto the thing?
Yeah.
But I think that might be the case, but the fact that GLaDOS is very much saying, like, it's... I wrote it down, the weighted companion cube, which does not talk and is not alive. But the thing is that you can find in that same level scribblings on a wall saying of a person who essentially fell in love with the
companion cube, yeah.
Simply because...
they went insane?
Yeah. I think GLaDOS is also trying to... Like, GLaDOS doesn't want you to... She wants you to do the tests, but she also wants to kill you or drive you insane. And I think by trying to force you to project onto this inanimate object that it's alive, and then force you to kill it at the end, it's trying to do... fairly traumatic psychological damage. It's
not a kid's game.
No, it's not. And the thing is, if you look at it and listen to some of the stuff, it can seem almost like a kid's game. But it's kind of like Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
When that came out,
I remember when that came out.
So many children wanted to watch that movie, and it is not a children's movie.
No, it's not a kid's movie at all.
It seems all whimsical and happy, and then someone's face gets smashed open with a fucking beer bottle. It's so sudden and violent and gruesome.
It is. You know what? I went to go see it with my drama class back in high school.
Yeah.
And half our class didn't know what it was. I did, and I suggested that we go see it just to see it, right? Yeah. And it starts out all happy and nice, right? Yeah. And then just terror across everybody's face.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
We walked out of the theater, and then we had like a little discussion, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody hated it. I was like, what?
Really?
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
No, it is a good movie, but they weren't expecting it to be so gruesome.
The thing is, like, I went into it not knowing it was going to be that gruesome. I knew it wasn't for kids, but like as it starts, then that happens, and I just like, time to buckle up, like. And after that, I was like, so this is the kind of movie I'm going to see where people can and will show some terrible, terrible violence.
Yes.
And it's so good.
It is good.
Yeah. The thing is, it does seem very whimsical, but at the same time, fucking terrifying. And it is sort of like it's a children's movie in the sense that it feels like it's being shown from a child's perspective,
right?
Which makes the violence so much worse.
Does that would that make Portal even worse?
I don't know, because it seems fairly from an adult perspective. It doesn't seem from a child's perspective, and there's not so much out-and-out violence in... If you see violence, it's being done to you, and essentially a bunch of colorful lights hit you.
No, but if you think about it, if you think about like all the different signs and the ways that you can die...
Yeah.
And how the puzzles are built, and there's like... What is that liquid that's on the bottom of some of those?
Oh, the deadly liquid?
Yeah, yeah.
Deadly liquid.
That's
what it is.
Touch it and you're dead.
I guess. I don't know. Because in the first one, remember when you first meet the turrets, you have to go through a live fire practice for the android turrets.
Right.
Just before going into that, Gladys tells Chell, like, there's maintenance being done, and currently the room where you would be doing the puzzle is filled with deadly liquid.
Right.
And that's all that it refers to it as. So I assume it's the same deadly liquid that if you touch, otherwise you die in other levels.
Yeah,
but what is it? Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
It looks like sewage water.
Yeah, it's pretty close to sewage water.
Yeah, it's just dark and murky
and green.
Yeah. Speaking of the sequel, though, because I know that we did at some point in the past, and that's a terrible segue for the circumstances.
It's all right. We're getting to it.
Sequel was released in 2011.
Yep.
Which, as of this recording, almost 2 years ago.
April 18th.
Yeah.
I remember the day.
Look that. Wow, you did get into video games.
Every commercial, every little small TV promo that ever came on.
Yeah.
I used to. That's what I do with games that I get really, really excited about.
You obsess.
I'll watch the crap out of every single video they put out. And then I'll play it.
Have you? What's a game that you're currently obsessed with?
Assassin's Creed.
Okay, have you? It's out now, isn't it?
Third one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you played it?
Yep.
Do you have it?
Yep.
Fantastic. Good conversation.
Yeah, that's awesome.
One game that I'm a little disappointed about is the next BioShock.
Why? What's so?
Did you hear about what happened? You saw the live playing footage of it, right?
Well, I mean, I've seen...
Like, with the dude, like, he goes up to the gazebo, takes a gun, is like, who are you? And then big firefight.
Yeah, I've seen
that. That was apparently not real. Some of it was doctored by...
Have you seen the new stuff, though?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
New as in what, from when?
From, like, a month ago, maybe. They put out, like, new trailers and new actual gameplay footage, and they come out with a whole collector's edition with the actual songbird. Like, they basically revamped and actually giving dates on when it's specifically coming out, not delaying it anymore. I think it's coming out in February.
It's going to be delayed again.
Yeah, we'll see.
But, like, that's good. That's good to know.
No, yeah, but they have come out with new stuff that actually is from the game.
That's good. That's good. The Last of Us is another game I'm super excited for.
You have no idea.
Oh, God. Yeah, like, you played all the Nathan Drake.
I did. I have played all the Uncharted.
Uncharted, yeah. And that's essentially Nathan Drake as an older man in the apocalypse with a child who's probably not his.
No, it's not his.
Fuck, that looks good. It's like The Road plus
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Yeah, I'd say it's just those two put together.
Yeah, it is.
With all the goodness of The Road, the little bit of goodness from I Am Legend.
I liked I Am Legend.
It was pretty shitty.
So mad about it.
Everything.
It was quiet.
Did you see the original Charlton Heston, the Omega Man?
No.
Okay, however bad I feel about I Am Legend, it's so much better than the Omega Man. That is a piece of fucking garbage. Anyways, 2011, sequel came out. More puzzles, obviously. You do go through some of the older ones just to show you how much time has passed.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the first one, you do make it out.
Right.
But then are dragged back in.
You get pulled back in.
Is
that a spoiler alert?
It's been out for fucking 5 years.
Just making sure.
Yeah, I don't care about spoilers that much. I try not to give too many, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're dragged in. I think it's the robot that does it is called. They called it something like the party acquisition robot because it needs to take you to the cake, to the party. Where in actual fact, it puts you into essentially a mobile home,
right?
That freezes you or puts you into stasis at least. Because remember the beginning of the second game.
Yeah, okay.
You wake up in this weird hotel room, which is apparently not a hotel room. It's actually a big block in a series of fucking enormous series of big blocks, which each one...
Not a construction yard. What are those?
A portable. One of those It's not a mobile home. It's more like a it's
like a portable classroom. It's a rectangular box stacked on top of more rectangular boxes.
Yeah, and
a shipping yard.
Yeah, it's a shipping yard filled with people.
There we go.
Person per box, and the thing is that.
Oh man, now I really want.
Unless you see it. The absolute scope of how many people it had contained at one point.
What happened to them?
They all died.
How?
I don't remember.
Okay. Because I don't know.
Wheatley mentions it. Wheatley is another character that shows up, voiced by Stephen Merchant, the writing partner of Ricky Gervais, and is honestly the best voice ever for the character.
It worked out.
Wheatley is... he was created by scientists to be the ultimate moron. He's supposed to... He was created to have bad ideas.
Yep.
And that is... why would you do that? They explained it in the game, and it makes sense, but I don't remember it right now.
I can't even remember how the people died. You're asking me why they...
It was the neurotoxin, but I think that the neurotoxin leaked into the majority of the thing,
maybe it did.
Or maybe they were just tested out. I think most of them died in their stasis. Stasis, that's it. The stasis thing, for the most part, collapsed, except Wheatley and... Wheatley. Do you know the story about the Ratman? Ratman?
I do remember reading that comic.
Yeah.
I don't remember it fully,
Great,
but I do remember that there was somebody who
survived the neurotoxin from before,
and then he helped Chell.
Yeah, Chell was put to the front of the testing line simply because on her thing it said she was a bad person to do it because she had too much tenacity.
Right.
So that's why Ratman...
Right, okay. Now that makes sense.
Yeah, Ratman survived the neurotoxin, lost his mind. He was the one that did all the scribbles.
Yes, he was the one that
He's the one that fell in love with the weighted companion cube, because he was schizophrenic.
Right.
Okay, so... where were we? Oh, yeah, so... Wheatley wakes you up and sends you off into the labs to... Is it to help her escape? Or is it to get... Because they start up Gladys again. But I don't remember why. Well, it was Wheatley's bad idea. So
he decides to... Oh, what is it? It's that giant generator room that he starts up.
Yeah.
I can't remember. He wanted to get the facility back going.
Yeah, because it was dying. It was falling apart.
Right. And then as you're... as you start this generator up, it starts lifting you up like an elevator, and then it turns Gladys back on. Mm-hmm. Right, I remember, because you gotta stick them in the...
Yeah. My mouth is full of mushy nachos. I'd be speaking right now. I apologize. This is very unprofessional.
Are they good, at least?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Soft.
Yeah, what was that thing called? It was like a little... He's like... Wheatley's almost like a key.
Yeah, he's used to... No.
Yeah, kind of.
Do you plug him in?
Yeah, you plug him in, and then he goes into the facility and runs like a seat, like on
the rails. Yeah. You know what I just remembered? Howdy, partner. I am speaking to you in an accent that cannot be understood by Gladys. I can hear you perfectly fine. Stephen Merchant doing a terrible American, almost cowboy accent. Such a fucking moron. He is easily, I'd say, the breakout character of that. Like, Gladys is the breakout character from the first one.
Yeah.
He's space personality sphere was also one.
Yep.
There was the fact sphere, and there was the adventure sphere.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of big blue spikes on the recording. What they also brought into this game is more than just flinging yourself through portals using essentially robotic trampolines. Yep. There's also tractor beams, light bridges, special gels. There's 3 gels. The white one lets you put a portal on any surface.
Right.
The blue one is the bouncy one.
Yeah, the blue one's the bouncy one.
And was it red or was it orange? Orange was sped you up.
Did you have trouble with that? Yeah,
colorblind. You prick.
I don't mean to say that you couldn't play the game.
No. I know the difference between blue and orange.
Well, last time I remember playing.
No, it was Portal 2. In Portal 2 they also added a multiplayer thing, right. And in that you don't play as Chell. You play as two a repurposed turret named Peabody and a repurposed personality sphere named Atlas.
Right.
And each of you have portal guns, making the levels that much more complicated and confusing. And since Tony is the only person pretty much that I play online with, he gets to see the ugly side of me when I play games, how fucking furious I get over the dumbest things. Like I have said some terrible things to you, and then immediately, I'm sorry, Tony.
I'm so sorry.
Oh God, I don't know what happened.
You want to keep going? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just the thing is that the portal guns you have, one of them is blue and purple. But because of my color blindness, to me it looked like blue and pretty much also blue.
Blue.
And the other one was like red and slightly less red.
Yeah, they tried to make it red and orange and blue and purple, but
if you're color, I could sort of tell the difference.
For how many times I said, "Okay, Corey, put your blue portal here."
This one, no. And then one of us falls into the deadly liquid.
Okay, let's try this again.
Damn it, Tony! You bastard! Just do the fucking.
It's okay, we made it through.
Yeah, we did. Remember that one, I think it was the last level of the original pack.
Yes, it was the original pack.
And we were stuck on, we had to fling ourselves across this huge expanse, and we had no clue how to do it. I'm pretty sure we spent, oh Jesus. Pretty sure we spent about a half hour minimum on the one side.
Yeah, I would say so.
Trying and failing. And then when we did it, we were both just like, we are fucking...
Yeah, we're morons.
Portal is the best game to play if you want to feel extremely stupid. Like, you'll be baffled about, how do I finish this fucking puzzle? It's impossible. Those fuckers broke the game, and then you beat it, and you're just like, I am a moron. Just... Oh, God.
Yeah, it'll make you feel little.
Yeah, oh yeah, it really does. Would you say Cave Johnson would be a breakout character from the second one? He had a lot of good quotes.
He did, and, well, I mean, yeah, I would say he is, because he's pretty essential as to how Gladys came about.
It sort of tells you how Gladys comes about.
Yeah, it's like a backstory.
Doesn't hit you over the head with it, but it's still fairly obvious.
No, that's why you got it. See, that was the thing about Portal 2. When after playing the first Portal a couple of times, I actually started paying attention to the dialogue, and I waited until they finished speaking before I went through the puzzle. And I finally, you figure out, you just got to listen closely.
Mm-hmm. It tells you, it basically does tell you everything that you might have a question about, but it doesn't tell you it
directly.
Right when you want to know.
Right.
It's fairly... It's so well written.
It is.
Like, it is ridiculously well written, and that's why it's won so many fucking awards, because it's just an absolutely outstanding game. But yeah, Cave Johnson is, he's the one that says, like, if life gives you lemons, call life's manager. Give the lemons back! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these? And it's like... Set fire to the manager, burn his house down with the lemons! Which, yeah.
Well, the thing about Cave Johnson is, when you first start, he's so
positive.
He's positive, and then he gets angry, and then he becomes super, super tragic.
Oh, God, so tragic.
Just so, you just feel like you're like, you're laughing at him because he's really funny, and all of a sudden, it just, your whole mood just changes at a certain point in time when you realize what actually happened.
Yeah, okay, so in Portal 1, the little information you're given about Portal Johnson, Cave Johnson, is that he got his millions by getting a shower curtain monopoly on the U.S. military, so he provided shower curtains for the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force.
Right.
Which is, that it's a stupid thing, but the thing is, that could make you a fuck ton of money if you're the sole provider of that.
True, people need their shower curtains.
So with that, he wanted to do science. And I mean do science, not like start doing chemistry or doing experiments. I think the phrase he uses is, let's do some science. And so when you are, at one point in the second game, you're sent back to the original Aperture Labs, which are deep, deep underground.
Way underground, yeah.
And you start out in the oldest section, and you meet Cave Johnson as it was originally, as he originally was starting out the testing of the portal gun.
Yep.
And he greets the user as an Olympian athlete or an astronaut, like the tip top of human civilization. Yep. And once you beat that section, you go to the next section, which is 10 years later, 10 or 20 years later, decades later.
Okay, yeah.
And it's fallen off, and it doesn't. Isn't he like recruited? Yeah, he's recruiting like hobos.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
hobos and transients.
Yeah.
And then once you beat that section, it's decades later, and the employees are forced to go through the stuff and do the things, and he has cancer because of moon rocks,
which is used to make
the white portal goo, which you get yourself splashed in many times. Meaning, Chell will finish the game probably with so much cancer.
She won't have any hair left.
No, she oh god, no amount of
she's
chemo.
Gonna look like Smeagol, let's put it that way.
She'll look like Walter White from Breaking Bad. Yeah. But yeah, Smeagol's better. I just wanted to reference Breaking Bad. Thing is, like I said, both games won huge amount of awards. They won BAFTAs. Which,
did they really?
Yeah, they won BAFTAs for Best Story, Best Writing, and Best Characters, I think. Which is like...
No, that makes sense.
What video game has won a fucking BAFTA?
A really smart one?
That's the British Academy for Theatrical Arts.
Yeah.
And for a fucking video game, it's fucking... Britain created theater. Like, they've created... And like so many of the best actors are British. Like fucking Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart, Idris Elba.
Yep.
I'm not going to say Daniel Craig, but he makes a good Bond.
You don't like Daniel Craig?
No, I do. I wouldn't yet consider him. Oh, Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
He's German and Irish, I think.
Yeah.
Still British. Anyways.
Yeah, that's real close.
Very much. Some Irishman's going to be very upset with me.
He's going to be in the new... well, they're making an Assassin's Creed movie. Going back to that.
Yeah? Awesome. Did you hear Idris Elba might be the next James Bond?
Really?
Yeah. The first black Bond. And, of course... Those we have a radio station here. The alternative radio station is called X92.9. The DJs on it are fucking morons because they're the
I don't listen.
They're the hipsteriest of hipsters.
Yeah, I would say so.
They have decent voices. They're good at
doing
what they do.
They're good radio talents,
but they are fucking morons. And they were saying like, we can't have a black James Bond. Fuck that noise. James Bond is white.
He's a white man.
He's white. White power. They don't say that white power stuff. But the thing is, if you think about James Bond, that kind of goes back to there's two theories about it, one of which is clearly false, that James Bond is a Time Lord, like the Doctor from Doctor Who.
Yeah, that's false.
The other one is that James Bond is a rank. It's not an actual person. It's
just a
007 comes with the alias James Bond.
Well, that would make sense because in the first Casino Royale, Daniel Craig, he gets 007 status.
Yeah.
He gets 007 status, and then do they refer to him as James Bond?
He's referred to as James Bond in the movie. I don't know if they say like you are now James Bond. They don't. Yeah.
Interesting.
It also makes sense when you look back at the other incarnations of James Bond, because each of the different actors brought a different style to James Bond.
Right.
It was still more or less the same.
Yeah.
But there were some James Bonds that relied more on kung fu. There were some James Bonds that relied more on gadgets. It was all depending on that particular James Bond's preference. Anyways, why did we get to this? Stephen Merchant is the next James Bond. Oh my god, this 7-foot-tall gangly... Oh, I would pay so much money to see that. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
That would be great.
Like, dead serious. Stephen Merchant, this 7-foot-tall gangly motherfucker just being super suave.
And what would his car be?
A Citroen? That'd be fantastic. Holy shit, that's beautiful.
Yeah, you wouldn't stick out in a crowd.
No, the thing is like, you're a supervillain, James Bond supervillain in your lab, having the party that you always do with the richest of the rich there.
Yeah.
As in every fucking James Bond movie. And the 7-foot-tall, super skinny dude comes in, starts dancing like a freak, because Stephen Merchant loves dancing. He's not good at it, I've heard.
No.
And so, arms flailing, knees up in the air, and all this stuff. Like, I heard there's a spy here. I know who it couldn't be. That fucking guy. So, yeah.
Oh, man.
James Bond would be the
Stephen
Merchant, and Ricky Gervais would be Q. Except the thing is, being Ricky Gervais, he couldn't do the movie unless he was in 90% of it, acting like an ass. I like Ricky Gervais. He's funny.
He is funny.
He's fucking pompous as all fuck.
Yeah, he is.
Anyways, back to Portal. A weird James Bond talk. Fucking hell. One of the when you first beat Portal and then you see the horrible reveal at the end, realizing that maybe Gladys wasn't lying about a lot of the stuff. I'm not going to give that away because that's a cool. You know what exactly what I'm talking about. I do. Then it starts during the credits, and this is the best use I think of a credits chunk of time ever.
Yeah. Because
they had the song "Still Alive," written by Jonathan Colton and then performed by Ellen McLean.
Right.
As Gladys and
as it turrets.
No, this is the first game.
You're talking.
Second game was "Want You Gone," which is
okay.
also written by Jonathan Colton, also performed by Ellen McLean, and also really fucking good.
Yeah, it was good.
But with the first one, all the credits are it's like an old one of the old green and black PCs. You know, like an Apple, like whereas like the gray
the first Macintosh that ever came out.
Yeah, it was like the gray cinder block with a screen. You know,
Stephen Merchant is James Bond. Okay, sorry, I have to get that out.
And the lyrics are being written across the screen in the style of the old gray brick, and it's singing this song which is super passive aggressive, and extremely hateful. Except it's performed in such a happy way.
Yep, because like a kid.
Yeah, it's saying like, congratulations for doing this, thank you for killing me, I'm not dead. You fucking failed at that. It's essentially when you get down to it, that's what the song is. Want You Gone, which involves you working with Gladys at some point against an unrevealed antagonist, who I will not mention, but if you're not a moron, you'll probably have figured out by now. The only other character in the game.
I didn't see it coming.
Well, like when it happened. Oh, remember? Okay, so fuck it. Let's just say it. You defeat Gladys, and you think like that was a short game.
Right.
You did it, but it was about the length of the first Portal. Short game. You defeat Gladys, and then you replace Gladys with Wheatley, who says that he'll send you home. And as you're leaving, Wheatley starts getting taken over by the original programming of Aperture Labs, which is testing must be done. So
does that mean that Gladys isn't actually the bad person, it's just a program? Because when she goes into the, spoiler alert, when she goes into the potatoes, because it's
GLaDOS and potatoes.
She's not as evil.
Well, that's because she also doesn't have any power.
Right.
I think it's essentially like, okay, she might not have been so evil when they first made her, but the thing is, there's a lot of programming that went into it, and then after these years, she's been psychologically influenced essentially by this programming. Mm-hmm. The urge to test, and then the pleasure that's derived from it, and then just the fury at people when they don't finish the test or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so Wheatley, if he was taken out, he would have still had that craving for power and testing.
Right, okay.
So it's...
Oh, so it's... Okay.
It's part of the... it's essentially just part of the job. You put any personality sphere into Gladys's position...
And they want to...
They need to test, and they will start getting hostile because they don't get... It's essentially... It's kind of dark, because at one point, Wheatley's testing you, and like he's... At the beginning, he's just like, oh, yes... Feels so good when you complete a test. Oh, thank you.
But the funny thing is, he doesn't get any smarter when he starts testing, because the way he builds puzzles, he just smashes like 3 or 4 together, and it's all like
and says go
unpolished, and things are falling off, and he creates little cubes with turrets that are connected to them, so it look like turret crabs.
Yeah, he tried to. I guess improve the design of both the cube and the turret by putting them into a turret cube, which doesn't work.
And then it failed.
It fucking fails miserably.
They're cool looking.
They're creepy. It's like this thing it's like barely alive. That's what it looks like. It's crawling around. If they could talk, they'd probably be saying "kill me," you know. But yeah, it's like, and then as like I think the first test Wheatley puts you through, because he's not a complete asshole yet, is essentially just cross this bridge.
Yeah,
you've opened the door, hurrah, and he gets flooded with essentially computer endorphins.
Right.
But then it becomes harder to get that rush, so he needs to make more advanced tests. And when even then, it gets to a point where it's basically like heroin addiction.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is.
It's a drug addiction for computers, which is really dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second game, when you end it, it's the song that's played "Want You Gone," which is fairly self-explanatory. It's like,
want you out of here.
It's like, you killed me, you brought me back, you let that fuckhead get in position, but you put me back, but I don't want to deal with you anymore.
So go away.
You're nothing but trouble. I can't. Why don't
go?
I think there's one lyric in the song that I think's like, it's essentially just like, go ruin someone else's life, because that's all you're good at.
So do you think there's going to be another Portal 3?
I don't know, because they ended that one fairly definitively.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Like, it's
you're shoved. You go up an elevator. You're shoved out of a shed in the middle of nowhere, and they give you the weighted companion cube, and then that's it.
It spits it out.
Yeah. If they did, they might. The thing is, if you beat the multiplayer campaign, which we did, you get the ending, which shows the bunch of which were like athletes and astronauts and stuff that were put on stasis.
Right.
A whole bunch of people, and. That was an awesome credit sequence, too. It didn't have a catchy song. The song that was playing was catchy, but it didn't have lyrics.
No, it was just a background.
Peabody and Atlas just dancing for like fucking 7 minutes, pretty much.
Yeah.
And just like shuffling through all these new people that are there, and some of them clear. Like there were a few. There's like a weighted companion cube in one and stuff like that. And it's this, and yeah, it's also super well written because.
It is.
There are parts in the multiplayer one where you will get, like, if you're playing, let's say, Peabody, you'll get a message saying, like, you're doing so much better than the other one.
Right, Gladys will instigate either
a weird competition. She wants the test done, but she doesn't like either of you. It's such a weird thing.
Who would Gladys be as a person?
Like, actor? Person?
Just anybody you can think of.
I worked at Walmart for 2 years, and I worked with this kid who was 9 years my junior, but we got along really, really well.
Yeah.
There was one person that worked in a department neither of us worked in, but we occasionally had to deal with, who was the most unpleasant person, and for absolutely no reason, just constantly on, like, 100% bitch alert.
Yeah, okay.
And we were both like, she's kind of like, I said Darth Vader at the same time. Fucking cuckoo clock. I said Darth Vader at the same time he said Lord Voldemort, and we decided Darth Voldemort. That's who Gladys is.
For you?
Yeah.
All right.
Evil wizard, dark Sith. No, she might be. Seriously, I think she might be more like just some bitch. Just a horrible bitch with a weird amount of power. You know.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Unfriendly person.
Yeah, okay.
Just an unfriendly person with a lot of power that you need to deal with, so...
You have a Gladys in your life.
Everyone does.
Everyone has a Gladys in their life.
Everyone has a Wheatley in their life, and that's usually a bit more entertaining. But still pretty fucking frustrating.
I think the Wheatley, we both know, has a British accent.
Yeah. Sort of. Oh, inside joke. What a good way to end the episode. So yes, this was Tony. The topic was Portal. Make sure to check out the featured show of the week here on the radio station. It's Level Up this week. And yeah, that's been Geektionary.